Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to The Warm Truth. I'm one of your hosts, Kim.
And I'm your girl, Melisha.
Whoop, whoop. And today we are back with another episode of our Black Business Entrepreneurship series. And today we have our lovely guest, Qi Dada, and Mel is going to introduce her.
Yes, and shout out to Black Mamas ATX because I am going to use their intro because we also have Qi Dada on the panel for it. So the introduction, Qi Dada is a Haitian American Afro spiritual storyteller and media creator known for her profound ability to translate lived experience into transformative, heart-centered, as one half of the iconic hip hop duo Riders Against the Storm and co founder of Body Rock ATX. She has spent over 16 years cultivating community spaces rooted in rhythm and connection. Most recently, she produced Black Divas, a powerful maternal health concert now streaming on PBS. Come on, y'all. Come on, listen to this. Through her company, KD Life and Media, she works to fill depth and authentic expression that can flourish. Woo.
Yes, ma'am.
Woof. Welcome.
Yes, I'm
Welcome.
glad to be here. To have you
Yes.
on.
I'm so happy you agreed to be on. I enjoy everything you do. I follow you on all the socials. I moved here 8 years ago, and my son was 2 at the time. And Riders Against the Storm had a concert at the Domain, and you all put on this show, and you were rapping, and I remember my son just enjoying it. And to this day, he remembers that. That was our intro into Austin. That's when we moved here.
Wow.
And to this day, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're here. I see that." I'm like, "I know, right? Isn't that cool?" So
That's fresh.
yes,
That's nice.
yes. Thank you for being here. We
Yeah,
appreciate you.
absolutely. I love hearing that a lot. I feel like I know music's good when the kids love it.
Yes.
Because the
Pure
kids are
soul.
harsh critic. They don't care about your feelings.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, well, again, welcome. So we'll go ahead and dive in to our interview questions. So my first one for you. Number one, tell us a little bit about who you are. We know Mel kind of gave a good overview, but tell us a little bit about who you are, the businesses that you own, and what inspired you to start each of them.
Wow. So my name is Qi Dada. I'm one half of Riders Against the Storm. Like you said, I do all of these different things. But I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Woo-woo.
And I come from a Haitian American family. It was very patriotic. So very strong Haitian roots and culture. And being born in Brooklyn, I was lived in privilege. Like I don't think people think living in a tenement with 8 people in a 2-bedroom apartment is privilege, but it was to me because I had tremendous amount of community. I was never alone as a child. I always had someone to do something for me, be there for me, make me food, whatever it was. I was never alone. I had my siblings. And I also grew up there in the infancy of hip hop. So, you know, it was an experience you can't buy. I grew up watching break dancers on cardboard. I grew up with Jamaican sound clash teams putting their speakers on the block while people just went about their business on Saturdays, and music would just be blaring all day long, just like music that most people don't have probably never even heard of. Some I'm sure, but it's just very exclusive sounds. And so that shaped a lot of the way that I move. I remember going to parties regularly. Like I was a kid, always had a party dress on, always at a party. Caribbean people love to party, Labor Day, Carnival. Like I was constantly surrounded by festivities, etc., and great food. And community. So that shaped my worldview, period. It just shaped my worldview. And a lot of the work that I do creatively, business wise, all of that is about exporting that as far as I can, as deep as I can with people. So I have QDLM, which is Qi Dada Life Media. That's where my media production lives. And also the transformative work I do with women. I've had a few different iterations with that. I put that on pause. I've been focusing on my media. Um, And but I'm also in a space where I'm trying to, or I am rather, figuring out how they all become one thing, you know. And also, my husband and I have Divine and Conjure, which is our company that where our music is housed, Body Rock ATX, and some other endeavors of Shaka's in particular lives under that umbrella. And so yeah, like we're very much we were brought up by, you know, in our young adulthood, a lot of our mentors were African storytellers. They were Black Panthers, former political prisoners, etc. And these people were just like, you know, self-determination. Like no one's gonna pat you on the back for it. You're gonna do for your people, and the reward will have to be something other than monetary. So we've spent time in the trenches in that regard, but that also informs who we are entrepreneurially. You know, who I am entrepreneurially. Like the impact has to match status. You know, has to match revenue. You know, so yeah. It's a lot of who I am.
That was beautiful.
No, it was, because you even touched on the challenges, and you said that monetary isn't everything, and that is clear on and evident on the community space in which you built. I mean, the drive in everything you do, you can see that, and that's kudos to you. Because I mean, even speaking on the challenges of like money isn't everything, it's clearly the purpose. If I can say that,
and it's hard when you're like, I need the money to be something though.
right.
It's not for the weak when your mission is not money. But you need money to fuel the mission, you know. And so it takes a shift in I can speak for myself, like it takes a shift in self-perception. It takes a shift in confidence too, like, you know, like being someone who's so rooted in the community to be very vulnerable. I've in the past, and I'm getting over this, but you don't want people to think your integrity is out of alignment just because you put a price tag on something, on an experience that you're creating, or on a service you're providing. Because what you do provide that has no monetary value, people don't see because they're not supposed to see. I'm not supposed to help this person out, and you see that. I'm not supposed to run out. When people call you, people don't understand. Like, people will call me, Shaka, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yo, like, I'm down bad. Like, I need some help, you know, and you answer the call. And, you know, it's everyone thinks, I don't know what people think, but I can tell you what I've experienced and what people can experience. What people say about my particular experience, like, I don't know why they think they can speak on my experience, but they have. You know, people will think you're self-absorbed because, ironically so, even though you feel like you're giving so much, because it takes so much. You have to be in tune with your largesse to be of service to not let the service take you under, right?
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship gave us a container, gave me a container to be like, that cost that. And I can still provide a service through that, but you're hiring me for this, or you're contracting me for this, and that's what that is. And so, because you have to have that vibrato when you're laying down that contract, people are like, well, I thought you was community. I thought you was humble. I thought you was, what you talking about? Like, why can't I get a discount? Because
The price.
the price is the price.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The price is the price. And yesterday's price ain't today's price. And also, like, being communal, it can be difficult too, because then I've had experiences where people would be like, well, why aren't we getting a bigger cut? I thought it was all community. I'm like, what did you do? Sorry. And that's what I'm saying. When you're like that too, when you're in service, but you're also like that, it gets real confusing for people. And it can get very confusing for myself. And I had to take time over the years to sort that out. You know, it took time to sort that out. because I really didn't want my integrity besmeared. Like, I'm just not, my character, my word is everything.
Can we get into how you were able to kind of separate the two and or communicate that with others and with yourself? Anything
And what
specific?
grounded
that-
you
It was,
into that?
it was just messy. The long and the short of it, I don't know that there was this very clear path to doing it. I had to check myself, like, was I not being considerate? I had to, that's a part of being a strong leader. That's a part of being a strong servant of the community. And is like, you do have to check yourself. Your character has to be in check. And sometimes your character's not in check. Like, I'm also a rock star. Sometimes I do rock star things.
Right. That part, right.
I'm not gonna hide that. Like, sometimes I've done rock star things, and I had to be like, oh, okay, like, I didn't need to push that hard. Or Janelle Monáe said that one time. She said she was on a shoot, and she made somebody cry, and because she was just like being so hard about something, and she made somebody cry, and later on she like came, because she started working at a magazine or something, and came back around, and she had to come do an expose or something, and she was just like, I had to apologize, but I also was like, yes, you're in your ego, but you're also in your fear too, because you're using your ego to get past the fear that or the anxiety that you're experiencing. Because you got to show up. Like, all these people bought tickets, or the press is showing up, or whatever. You got to show up, so you have to use your ego to push through things, and you can push through people in that attempt. And so that's an honest response that you have to check, that I've had to check if I've done that. Now, sometimes you're in my way. I need you out of my way. I don't owe you that. I don't.
Yeah.
Just because people get that confused when you're, like, they call me priestess of the party, etc. And people think that means you're supposed to be all zen and what. I was like, I want you to meet some of the priestesses I know, because they don't play.
I was gonna say, I don't know about some priestesses. They hold ground.
They don't play. I know some pastors and all people in spiritual positions. They don't play because the work is that real, and you confuse being kind with being good. People are very kind. It doesn't mean that they're very good. And people who can be very harsh, I've learned to it takes time to kind of like figure out what the exact equation is to be sharp without cutting. But that's something I've had to learn. Is like, it just you have to fine tune. You have to give yourself grace. I've had to give myself grace. Like, I didn't know how to do that, and I had to learn that I could be. I might know better. It didn't mean I was strong enough at the time to execute it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I might know it's possible to run 3 miles. But until I'm strong enough, I've built the capacity to run 3 miles, I can't do it.
Right.
And so that's the grace I had to give myself, while also apologizing where need be. I also had to give myself grace. I just wasn't strong enough to make a quality movement or decision at that time. So grace is important. Deep look at your character is very important. And at this point in time of my life, like, being very okay. And I think sometimes I used to stumble over myself because I was afraid to make someone upset, and that would really only make things worse. So being very, very, very okay with cutting someone off real smooth. It's like, no, we're done here. I did that yesterday. This young little waiter kept coming by, and my homegirl and I were trying to have a conversation, and I was gracious. It's like, okay, cool, that's funny, you should do stand up. Come back, pulled up a chair, started like, no. I was like, okay. Came back a third time, like, you know what my problem is? I was like, I don't care what your problem is right now. I need to finish my conversation with my friend. Have a nice day. I'll leave you a nice tip. I don't you're treading at this point,
Yeah.
right? So, but that's important because now I need my homegirl.
Right.
I need that, right? So anyway, all of these checks and balances over the years have just created a refined approach to create what it takes to, if I'm remembering the question correctly, what it takes to navigate finding, my own character, in being able to be of servitude and be able to demand what I think the value of the work is. And I'm still growing in that. I'm still growing in that, I absolutely am still growing in that.
I love that.
Yes.
Self-reflection gonna do it every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And
It's
grace.
tough.
Be honest with
That's
yourself
tough
first.
too for us
Absolutely.
too. Grace.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah,
It's
grace.
huge. Showing up for yourself and understanding the grace that you need too, because we're so quick to give others grace, but what
That's
about
right.
ourselves?
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Black Divas.
Okay.
Let's talk about why. Let's talk about what that has evolved into. Your most recent show that you had.
Yeah.
And then also your media, your production company, and if you're taking any clients and what that looked like.
So QDLM officially was really only born last year. I've been working in media as far as a legal formation. Really was born last year. Prior to that, I was working with my husband in Divine and Conjure, and we were working on that. But the work I was doing seemed super specific. Started to get super specific, so I had to create an entity just for that work. And so, QDLM essentially is where I'm trying to house as many things as possible that present transformative media and transformative education, essentially, right? So there are folks who know me like as a coach, right? So I spent a lot of time doing transformative work with women on the low, even still, like I actually do priestess work. So I'll do ceremonies for new babies coming into the world. I'll do ceremonies for women who are transitioning into an alternate state of themselves and work through their lives for a distinguished period of time. And, I've done classes, I've done workshops, I've done all these different things throughout my history as a transformative practitioner. So there's a space I had to take a pause for that because you can get tethered to people, and people can also misalign themselves with you. In other words, like there can be transference. Like people will think they're in love with you, or that people will think certain things. And so I had to build a few things up in myself to reduce that type of work from happening. And so I'm taking my time with that. I'm focusing on my media right now because there is a call on my life in particular to take women, mothers, Black mothers, into the new global shift that's happening. And I think most people aren't really attuned or becoming as aware of it as they should be because they got all of this noise and all of this war and someone with a terrible toupee running the country and whatever. And it all looks like some sort of wrestling match. It looks absurd. And we've watched this show over and over again. So essentially, I was just like, well, I guess I know that I'm part of creating this new program. So I literally created a program. I was in meditation and I was just like, the divine was just like, okay, I need you to create this TV show. I was just like, I don't know, I'm going to do that. But I essentially created Black Divas that allowed me to bring together all of these different notions that were coming to me at once. So getting Black women, Black mothers to matriculate in power so that they can be in alignment with the global reality that's coming forward, which is a lot of women in leadership. To explain it further, women in leadership, ethno-ecological responses to disasters and shifts and changes politically, economically, the rise of Black power in general. You're talking about things that are happening in Africa. There's economic boom. There's technological boom. The majority of the people in the next few decades will be very young in Africa. There's all kinds of things that are rising, and we have to prepare ourselves to meet that, as much as we are getting distracted and bombarded with old rules, with old realities that don't pertain to us. And so, like, one of the things that I'm actually going to talk about at the Black Mamas ATX Summit is that, I'm not into empowerment. I don't like empowerment because I don't want Black women to feel empowered. I want them to occupy it. Ooh. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want Black women to occupy power. Because they love to keep Black women in, like, there's I follow a bunch of VCs, venture capitalists, and they love to mentor Black women. They love to help them feel the money.
We need the money.
You need the money. I don't need you to help me feel good about my direction. I need the money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because what happens, you look at, and I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but it fits into what I'm saying. Is like, you look at metaverse, right? That just recently was in the news. $80 billion spent, and they pulled the plug on it, right? And so I want us to not feel any kind of guilt about losing money. I don't want us to feel any kind of guilt about any shame in it not working. $80 billion in, he gets to walk around, no shame about it not working. I don't want to say no shame. I don't know your life, Mark. I don't know your life, buddy.
It ain't nothing.
Mr. Zuck. I don't know your life. It's a lot of pressure, I'm sure. But I'm saying you get to fail up.
Just like that, thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, we are the Warm Truth Podcast. Thanks so much to our guest, Qi Dada, for joining us. And of course, she already told you how you can support her directly, as well as her work. We'll leave all of her information in the description below. But until next time, make sure you follow us at the Warm Truth Podcast on IG and on TikTok. And
you could follow our guest at.
You can follow me at Qi Dada Life, Life, and Ross Hip Hop on Instagram, on all the socials, really. Ross Hip Hop on all the socials, and Qi Dada Life on all the socials. So I'll be building up my YouTube channel soon too. So look that out. And I have a lot in store. So just and thank you both for being lovely hosts.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Appreciate you. And
Absolutely.
then and thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good one. Bye.
bye.